the past over 6 years, and it's still going strong. And one of these fine days, you guys are gonna have to come and you see what we have here. Thank you.
Okay, so I will open the floor to questions from the members who are present. Beryl, kindly mute yourself. Any questions for Elvis?
Hello. Yes, I have a question.
Okay. Kindly, guys, just raise your hand up. So Dan, kindly mute everyone. Okay, so let's have the first question from Wilfred, and Elvis, you can unmute yourself once he has asked the question. Okay, Wilfred. And then after Wilfred, we'll have Kevin Lubanga.
Yes, Mboya. Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
I have 3 questions, but I just say only one, because of time. If you look at Club Sig, I'll just say one question because of time.
Okay.
Although I have 3 questions, but I'll just say one. So, if you look at Club Signature, how much were you, Club Signature, the club, where I used to go and perform? Club Signature.
I have not heard your question. Can you raise your voice a bit? I'm not hearing you. One thing is that I have a hearing problem, so yeah.
Okay, I'll shout. I'll make it simple. How much can you charge for a salsa class, for a salsa session, such that you can get a profit and the students can benefit?
Okay. Let me interrupt. Guys, one thing, let me tell you something about myself. One thing is that I have a hearing problem, and it might be difficult for me to hear most of the questions. So
okay,
I propose that you type the question in the chat scene, and then I can answer them from there.
Elvis.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wait, Wilfred. Just wait. Elvis, can you hear me?
Yeah, nakusikia.
Okay, so he'll ask his question, and then probably if you can be able to hear me, if I'm audible enough, I'll be able to repeat the question to you, and you can respond to it. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so Wilfred, kindly ask your 3 questions so that I can ask them to Elvis so that he can respond to all of them. Thank you.
Okay. The first question, how much can you charge for a salsa class in a way that you can earn a profit and also the students can also feel that the charge is okay for them? That is the first question. Second question, do you think salsa DJs earn an income? Okay. Third question, what challenges were you facing working with the management of Club Signature? Those are the 3.
Okay. Again, Wilfred, I could be wrong. I'll pose these questions to Elvis, but I don't know how these questions are related to ALDAC.
Okay, for me, I'm just looking at how he'll answer these questions. I'm not looking at how right or wrong he is. I'm just want to see
how his response to the questions.
Yes.
Okay. So Elvis, can you hear me? Okay. Elvis, can you hear me?
Yeah, nakusikia.
Okay, so the question from Wilfred is, number 1, how would you be able to come up with the costing for a salsa class? How do you determine how you will charge and how you will make your profit? So that is the first question. The second question is, he talks about Club Signature. and the management. So he wants you to speak about how apparently how the I don't know if you are the one who was dealing at were you dealing at Club Signature?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that question also is how you deal with the management at Club Signature. Sorry, the second question. What was the second question in Bukwa?
Yes. Do you think salsa DJs earn an income,
Okay.
a stable income?
Yes.
Stable.
Okay. And then the second question was, do salsa DJs can they be able to earn a living out of their art or their craft? Have you understood the question?
Yeah, nimekusikia.
Okay. Kindly respond.
Okay. The first question about the criteria which I use, let's say for charging classes, the criteria which I use is quite simple. One thing is that I look at the class which I'm training. I train different classes. I train students. I train adults. I train people who are earning. So they usually have constant rates where I charge everyone. That is but I usually have student rates where if you are a student and students don't have money of their own, so they usually have to be, if you understand me. So I have student rates and I have the rates for everyone. That's how the criteria I use for charging classes which I train. I hope that I've answered that. As for the Club Signature and the management, how I manage the salsa and the management in the club, that's quite simple. We just sat down and then we agreed on how to do the thing, how to do the salsa, the days which we are going to do the thing, and how the management is going to treat the people who come to dance at Club Signature, and how we, the people who dance at the Club Signature, how we usually respond to the different rules and different things in the club. About whether you can earn a living from the dance, I can say that you actually can earn a living from dance, because personally, for the past, let's say 1, 2, 3 years, most of my income, let's say around 60%, that is from the dance, where I go for performances, where we perform, I go for that is performances. That is one. Number two, training different people, that's charging to train, and I think those are the most the way I get a lot of cash from. So yeah, you can earn a living from the dance. I think I've answered your questions, Wilfred.
Okay. Beryl has a question. Beryl.
Yes, Elvis.
Yes.
Hello. I just have one question for you. So, Elvis,
Okay.
you said you've been dancing for a while, right? Yeah. So, what are some of your key moments that stands for you as a dancer?
Pardon?
When you say key moments, you mean his achievements since he began dancing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
So Elvis Mboya, Beryl is asking, since you began dancing, what are your key and notable achievements in your journey as a dancer?
The notable achievement that I've been having as a dancer is one. Personally, one is improving my self-esteem. That's one of them. Two is being able to work with different people from different areas, because dancing usually, the art of dance has made me know a lot of people, and it has made me know a lot of people. That's two. The other notable achievement is that I have had an impact on the wider audience out here, because being able to dance and being able to do the art correctly usually leads to you being able to be admired by people out there, and then that makes people look up to you. Though one can say that we all have our own self-esteem on how we dance, on how we usually do the thing, but then the encouragement you get from people telling you how you dance or how you do it is quite a thing, and it makes you feel good. That's I don't know whether that's an answer. And another notable achievement is that I've been able to start a dance. Let me just call it a dance school in where I'm based, where that dance school has helped me reach the wider audience and help me spread the Afro-Latin culture, that's the dance, to people, not just the students where I used to be previously. So yeah, that's quite a thing.
Okay. Anyone else with a question? Kevin Lubanga.
Okay, hi Elvis.
Hello.
I hope you can hear me.
Ah,
Are you able to
nakusikia,
hear me?
nakusikia.
All right.
Yeah, nakusikia.
So my question is just this way. We have Bungoma, we have Kakamega, we have Mumias, we have Butere, right? Now, regarding the insecurity in that region and remoteness areas of those regions, what will be your influence, or what are you going to do to ensure that we all enjoy, basing the fact that we come from remote areas? Question number 2. We have people who are passionate about these dances. How about if you get somebody who is disabled? How are you going to do to ensure that this person also has the right moments, just like the one who is able? And then the last question is, it's unfortunate this is a COVID-19 period. I'm just asking you as a creative instructor, how are you going to handle this situation, assuming this situation prolongs, how are you going to handle this situation as an instructor to ensure that we all enjoy at the end of the day, so that your customers, your clients, the ones who pay, the students, are all at the same position? Thank you.
Okay. The first question was about security, right?
Yes.
Let me apologize. I've only had one question, but I'm not really sure what I've had.
Elvis. So the
Okay.
first question was, he spoke about Butere, all the areas around Kakamega. So he was asking, how are you going to ensure that all these regions around, all these areas around Kakamega are included in the, for lack of a better word, in the national agenda of ALDAC? And he spoke about also how, as a dance instructor, are you accommodating persons with disabilities? And number 3, he raised about the COVID-19 situation. How are you ensuring that you're still pushing the agenda of Afro-Latin dance despite the COVID-19 situation, and also including the students who are part of your client base?
Okay, about the first question about how I'm going to ensure that the regions surrounding Kakamega, or in my region, are put in the national agenda. The only thing that I'm gonna do that is reaching out to the people who are in the dance, who are in those areas, and work with them, and come up with a thing that ensures that, and come up with something that will ensure that they are all involved. I can say that. If I become a link, and if I become their link, I'm sure that I can't fail them, because citing the past 1 or 2 years, I've been able to meet most of the people from around the area. That is from Kisumu, Mumias, Bungoma, Kibabii, Must, and Kisii. I primarily work with those people. So if I become part of this thing, I'm sure that I'll be able to coordinate with them, and I'm sure that I'll be able to put them on the map and ensure that they are part of the ALDA community.
Okay.
Number two
You
was about
have 1.5 minutes to respond to the rest of the questions, and then we can move to the next candidate, please.
okay. The next question was about the COVID-19. How I'm ensuring that how I'm pushing the agenda to the to the people. It's quite difficult in this period, and I can say that it's been a difficult period. That yes, what I've been doing to ensure that the ALDAC agenda has been pushed to the people is that I've been doing quite a lot of campaigning for the ALDAC. I've been giving the people the mission and the vision for ALDAC, and I've been making sure that the people know about the ALDAC. Yeah. The second question, I don't remember it well. Maybe you can repeat it for me.
About the persons with disabilities. How are you going to integrate them?
About the person with disabilities, how I'm going to ensure that they are part of this thing, right?
Yes.
That one. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna be ensuring that I reach out to them, I work with them, and just as I've been doing with others, with the wider community, I make sure that we work together. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So thank you very much, Elvis Mboya. Why are you laughing?
Thank you, everyone, for your questions, and thank you for letting me be part of this
Thank you
question and
very
answer.
much. Okay, so we move
Yeah.
to the second candidate, Perpetual Nyambura. The floor is yours. Kindly, we would like to see you on video. Perpetual Nyambura. Perpetual Nyambura. Perpetual Nyambura. Okay. So we'll move to the next candidate, who is Dan Mbok. Last call, Perpetual Nyambura.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So let's move to Dan Mbok. So Dan Mbok, in the interest of time.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
In the interest of time, yes, kindly give us a brief of yourself, who you are, and then kindly give us what your core competencies are and how they will help you achieve the aims and objectives of ALDAC, and give us your professional and educational background.
Alan, I'm
Yes,
back.
Perpetual.
I'm back. Poleni, my net
Okay.
imeenda down. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to continue, or can Dan continue
yes,
and you take after him?
Please, let me
What
just.
is yes? You want to go?
Yes, let me go.
Okay. Okay, so the thing, so again, just give us a brief of who you are, and then we want to know what core competencies you possess and how they will help ALDAC achieve its aims and objectives, what your professional and educational qualifications are, and then now we'll throw the questions to the members. So go, you have 5 minutes.
So,
Or less,
hey guys.
if you can be.
All right, I hope everyone is well, and thank you for honoring this Zoom meeting invite. My name is Perpetual Nyambura. For most of you, we've interacted either through Passion and Fuego, or through being the secretary of ALC, Ama, you know me as the lady who sells dance shoes. I'm an entrepreneur and dancer, and my history is that I'll try and shorten it and make it relevant to my passion for dance and why I'm vying to be one of the executive committee members. So I've always been attracted to anything that had dance. My net. No, I think it's okay. Yeah, I've always been attracted to anything that had dance in it growing up, whether it was in school or in church. And of course, when I was younger, my parents supported this. Of course, growing up, as my passion grew and as I was more attracted to anything and everything that had dance in they were more concerned, is this something that is going to, are you going to have like a career, a stable life? Are you able to provide for yourself through dance? Yeah, and so I think my passion, my drive to vie for this or to why I'm passionate about dance other than the dancing itself is because I want to create a platform for people to be themselves through dance, and most importantly, change them to just be called following dance, which is what we'll do up and even now. Of course, among other narratives that you cannot be just, you cannot be a dancer and dancing a kind of dances, say kizomba, salsa, if you're in a relationship or things like those. And yeah, so that is my short brief.
Okay, your professional and educational backgrounds.
Okay, so yeah, I did actuarial science in campus, UN. What I'm doing, I'm the finance manager in an automobile company. I've been there for how long? It's been 6 years. So yeah, finance manager in an automobile. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I'm a co-founder of Passion and Fuego. Passion and Fuego is a dance company located in Nairobi. We offer dance classes, salsa, bachata, kizomba, entertaining in the Afro Latinces, and of course also sell dance attire. Yes.
Okay, the floor is open to anyone who has a question. I'll actually go back to the chat room. JT has a question saying, what challenges have you seen so far in salsa and how can you solve them?
One, I think that's this changing the narratives, changing the narrative that one, you can be a lady dancing the, you know, salsa kizomba, and you cannot be anything else in a relationship or something like that. I want to represent the idea or the possibility that that is possible. Of course, there are other challenges, say in getting, if you have done dance classes, you will have an issue with getting venues and such places. But I think it's about striking a balance of what the landlord, whether it's you're trying to do a social or trying to hold dance classes, a hotel, a bar, trying to understand what they want and seeing if you can deliver that. Of course, now having in mind what you want. Yeah.
Anyone else? The floor is open. Peter Mushiri.
Yes, Peter Mushiri.
Kindly unmute yourself, Peter Mushiri.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so Perpetua, it's good. I've known you for some time, so you're not a stranger. So I only had one question. Normally, people have different, like they have their bad times and good times when dancing or in the dance environment. So just tell me or tell us like what you can describe as your good moment in dancing and your bad moment in dancing. That's all. Like what can you say it's like a bad time when you're dancing or a good time when you're dancing? That's all.
Let's start with the good because I love traveling as well. So last year we were able to travel with some of our students to Zanzibar, courtesy of the Zanzibar Festival, and those were many moments, and it was amazing just having students that are now friends, and you're traveling together and exploring other things besides dance because of dance. So that is an amazing moment. Maybe a not so good moment is being on the dance floor. You have a performance and forgetting the routine. So I've been there. I think that was my worst.
Any other question, guys?
Yeah.
Is that Kevin Lubanga?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Perpetua.
Hey.
Okay, my question goes to you. You are a good instructor. Perhaps if you can tell me what's your, of the Latin dances, what's your major dance? What's your favorite dance?
I love bachata kizomba. I can't tell between the two, but bachata kizomba.
So my question goes to you. You are my instructor. I like how you train. So, but I'm one person who prefers Viennese waltz to the Latin dances you do. So how are you going to, what approach are you going to do, or what are you going to do rather to ensure that I'm still taught by you and I learn the dance well? We have had situations in Kenya.
You prefer what to what? Yeah.
I repeat, I am a dancer coming to Kenya. I have been referred to you by one of my friends who is your client, says you love teaching bachata, salsa, kizomba. But I am one person who prefers Viennese waltz, okay, because it pays back here in my country. So how are you going to do so that my does not go away, yet you are the one who is being preferred to as the best instructor?
No, I mean that's easy. One thing is I can't do everything. So as a potential client, it's my job to convince you that I'm working with a team of people who are qualified and professional in the specific different dances, and you are still within, say, my dance company, but you're being taught by someone else. I can be present in the class, but someone else will take the leader, and this person is better fit to train you. So I think I will convince you in that line, but I don't have to do everything. I think it's even exhausting. So work with a team, and then convince whoever it is that, and you have different strengths and people who are better than you, and it's a win-win situation.
Thank you.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Perpetual.
Yeah.
Yes, mine is just a simple question. Since you want to become an ALDAC executive committee, how will you handle destructive criticism if it will happen?
I think it's simple. If it's destructive, like you said it, you ignore and keep matching. If it's general criticism, say if there is something constructive that you can do and take from that, but moving forward. So if it's something that is not going to build or grow whatever it is we are trying to create through Teams of ALDAC, then you ignore it and move forward.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. Or we can move to the next candidate. And I see the questions are only coming from Mbukwa and Lubanga. Okay, let's move to Dan Ombok. Dan, kindly mute everyone and oh, sorry, we didn't see that. Yes, Dogedi.
So hi, Paps.
Hey.
Okay, so we have the objectives that have been set out in the ALDAC Constitution, and you can read them through the Constitution. If you are to pick one and run with it, which one would it be, and how would you ensure that that particular objective is fostered throughout the year that you'll be in office?
I think it's one that has to do with the bargaining power. Of course, as the association with many. So if I'm approaching a corporate, the government, an individual who is in a position to sponsor our activities, that is what I would go for, because this means being able to create an event, being able to create this platform that I'm talking about that offers dancers, instructors a chance to showcase what it is that they're doing and be remunerated. So it's not for free. So that's what I'd go with. Talk to individuals, so you know, who are able to sort of sponsor or give help financially or otherwise to a group. So the gaining power.
Any other question? Okay, Dan Ombok.
Hi guys. So my name is Dan Ombok. I am an Afro-Latin instructor, performer, and choreographer. I'm also a certified procurement and logistics professional, and I run an events company. I've dedicated 15 years of my life to dance. I started dancing in 2006. And over the course of this period, I've been able to put up dance performances, classes, host events and festivals. And I've also been able to create strategic partnerships with governmental and corporate institutions. So some of the core competencies that I possess is one is organizational and planning skills. I also have the ability to create strategic partnerships with government and corporate institutions. I also have experience in value-driven decision-making acquired from running Cutting Edge Events, which is an events company based in Nairobi. I'm a team player and I possess people skills. So basically, I intend to leverage my connections with these institutions to promote cooperation between ALDAC and these companies to enable ALDAC achieve its aims and objectives. And also being in business, I can say I understand the business landscape in Kenya, and I will use this knowledge to develop mentorship and B2B programs that will elevate professionalism and profitably change how we do the business of dance. So that is a brief about me.
Guys, questions, the floor is open. I think maybe you can respond to what Justin had thrown to you and Perpetua.
But there was a question.
So his first question was, let me just read them out to you.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was, what are your low moments? What are some of the low moments that you have seen that has divided people, especially in the event where some part put back line? Justin, kindly ask that question. I am not really understanding. Okay, his first question was, what are some of the challenges you have seen so far in salsa and how can you solve them? The second question, Dan Ombok, what are some of the low moments you have seen that has divided the people, especially in the event where some people line up? Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Justin, I see you. Yeah. Just respond to that, he'll come in.
Okay, so some of the challenges that I've experienced and I've seen in the community, I think one is in some cases there's a lack of unity. And this has been brought about by sometimes people boycotting events by other dance companies or certain instructors. So personally, how I intend to bridge this and bring about unity is basically speaking with one voice. ALDAC is in existence not as a competition, but to complement instructors and to complement dance companies and dance organizations. So if these individuals or companies see that ALDAC is not a competition and ALDAC stands for them, I think that will be a good starting point to bring about unity so that we speak with one voice as an association. The other thing that has been a challenge is many dancers, especially when they're starting, I can say many dancers or many companies, the challenge is usually how to brand themselves, how to package themselves, and also how to market their services. And I intend to come up with B2B and mentorship programs with organizations that I have connections with to train dancers on how to package themselves and basically on business skills.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, Justin, on your last question, please.
Yeah, my last question is this. There are these challenges that we have faced. For example, I'm going to a lounge called X, and maybe, let me use an example. Dan has gone there, has negotiated a contract. I'm also called to negotiate a contract. How would we, as members of ALDAC now, be able to solve that kind of a thing, because we all have interests and can't share everything? How would you as a leader help in that?
Sorry, JJ, I didn't get your question. Just please repeat.
My question is this, now we are members of ALDAC.
Yes.
Say I'm a member and you are a leader. Now, if I have a company and another person X has a company, and we have a clash because we all have the same interest, maybe on a certain, let's say, crab, let me say like crab metro, and both of us want to be there, how would you solve that kind of a tussle?
Okay, I think basically it boils down to who got there first. As in, if you secure the client first, I think it only makes sense for you not to go and interfere with an already existing contract between one company and this establishment. I don't think there's any other way of handling it, because it'll just be respecting boundaries, just respecting the fact that somebody else has already made contact and negotiated, already have an arrangement with this establishment. So I think personally it is to just foster.
But just to throw a spanner in the works as well. What if you come with a superior offering and this person decides that I actually want to go with person B, even if person A came first?
Okay.
Because you cannot dictate what the client wants.
I think being in business, that happens a lot. And I think in such a case, then if it's cutthroat business, then probably that can suffice. But in the spirit of ALDAC and in the spirit of the Constitution, which should be advocating for unity, if it's somebody who's part of the association and is part of the community, either the two of you can talk and agree, or just respect the fact that this person already made contact. So that's how I choose to look at it.
Okay. Anyone else?
I would like Dan to answer the same question that I posed to Patricia.
Which was?
from the ALDAC objectives, if you are to pick one and run with it, which one would it be, and how would you endeavor to achieve it?
I think mine
that
would be.
I'll be asking that to all.
Sorry, just say that again.
So it would make sense if every candidate just now. I'm saying I'll be asking that to all candidates, so it would be easier if Alan just asked it for me as he introduces them.
Okay, I will send you an invoice.
Okay, thank you, Douglas. I think for me, I will run with the objective E, that is to promote cooperation with national institutions, societies, non-governmental, and other organizations with vested interest in the Afro-Latin dance in Kenya. And there's a reason why I've picked that objective. This is because I've already made contact with corporate and governmental institutions. Being in the events and entertainment industry, I interact a lot with these companies. And over the years, I've created basically a network of corporates that I work with. So I'll be able to leverage these connections that I've made and ensure that either one or two come on board, either as a brand to offer sponsorship or mentorship programs to instructors or dance companies within the association. So I'll run with the objective number E.
Okay, thank you very much. Madam Stacy Olendi.
Okay, confirm that you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Dan, kindly mute everyone, and then Stacy can unmute herself and begin. Yes, Stacy.
Okay then, so I shall go. My name is Stacy Olendi, and starting with my dance background. So I started dancing back in 2009 while I was in Moi in my second year, Moi University in Eldoret. And while I was there, in my third year, I became the secretary of the Moi University Salsa Dance Club. Once I was done with campus, I came back to Nairobi and I joined Salsa Afrique. That was in around 2015. So I was a performer with Salsa Afrique from 2015 to around 2017. Thereafter, I joined Kike Dance. That was in 2017. And while there, I also performed with them. I taught a couple of dance classes. I also worked with I've also worked with the Dance Factory, teaching private dance classes, teaching children's salsa boot camps, and also I've been dancing pretty much in all the socials around Nairobi. With regards to my professional background, so I have a major experience in digital communications. In university, I studied linguistics, media, and communications, but after I graduated, I worked at Homeboys Radio as the digital manager there. And over the years, I've progressed to the point where now I work in a digital advertising agency as an account manager, where I've had the opportunity to work with several brands such as Safaricom and the Elton John AIDS Foundation. So I have quite a strong experience in understanding what brands expect, understanding how to create strategic communication to reach target audiences and to reach them with campaigns that are quite impactful and that sort of there's a return of investment or a communication outcome. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's me. Yeah.
The floor is open. Okay, I think we can start with Douglas's question. So out of the objectives, which one are you going to pick and run with?
Given my background in marketing, communication, and advertising, I'd be quite helpful in, first of all, capacity building. I'd possibly work with Dan because he already mentioned this, but things like self-branding and maybe teaching dancers things that are outside dance, like entrepreneurship. For example, while dancing, the moments I did not run a business, but I made money from dance through performing, through teaching private classes. And also, I've run my own art business for 2 years. So you could say I'm a creative entrepreneur. And so I'd collaborate with other entrepreneurs first to pass on some of these skills to dance, because that's important. Dancers need to know how to package themselves and how to make money out of their passions. The other thing that I'd be a strength in is creating the strategy around cooperating with organizations. With my background in understanding what companies look for, how to reach the target audiences, or understanding what the target audience needs, then I can be able to help businesses, dance businesses, sort of place themselves in a position where they become a need for this business, and you're the in-between the brand and their target audience. So those will be my two strengths that I'd contribute to ALDAC based on the objectives. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Anyone else?
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
Okay. Patrick Njuguna, please go.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Stacy, for that. I'm asking you this question because you're a lady. There's been a lot of talk of people being abused in the dance floor. Okay, I'm assuming they're ladies.
Yes.
I wanted to find out from you, have you experienced this? And what will you bring? It's one of the objectives of VALDAC to promote a code of ethics. And I'm assuming one of the major issues it's going to address is that kind of issue. What specific interventions are you going to push for?
So this is actually an issue that is very close to me. One, because it's happened to me before on the dance floor. And also there was a friend of mine who I once introduced to the salsa dancing. And during like her third time at a social, she also had an experience with the same person. And she decided to never come back to the salsa scene. And she even posted like a video online, and it started like a conversation within the scene. So it is an issue that's close to my heart, and I'm glad that it's in the ALDAC objectives as an objective to promote a code of ethics. Quite honestly, I wish we could take it further than just promoting and actually taking action, whether it's banning someone from the scene. But you can't really tell dance event organizers how to run their business. So I'd basically be a champion for this code of ethics, and also and suggest means for which people can voice their concerns. If something happens to you on the dance floor and you're at an event, does the event organizer have a means for which they can come and report to the event organizer? And then can we have a separate discussion on the side? In the past, I have been instrumental in some communication while with Kike Dance, because I am instrumental in Kike Dance's communication strategies. I believe it was early this year during Women's Month, we ran a campaign around a code of ethics. We ran a campaign around code of conduct, in which some of these issues came up. Also for guys, some things do arise. So yes, it is something that's very close to my heart, and I'd be instrumental in promoting the code of ethics around that. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Wilfred.
Yes, Stacy, how are you?
I'm fine, Wilfred. And you?
Yes, I'm quite fine. Since I've been in the industry for years, I've noticed that workshops, especially that target the high-end clients, you find that the people attend those workshops are basically not the regular salsa dancers, okay? And I noticed that most of those workshops, they want to target the regular wananchi, you see. And I know the event organizers want the regular wananchi to go for those workshops, but they always complain that the price is expensive. So since you want to become an executive, to be part of the executive committee, how can you strike a balance on that? Thank you.
Okay, given that I think I can see both sides. For the regular Mwananchi, they may find some of the pricing a bit much. But then again, on the side of the event organizer, it's not cheap to run these kind of workshops, except especially depending on where you put your workshop. If you have a very good quality studio with mirrors, and in a quite good location that's very accessible, that comes at a cost. And dancers need to realize that you need to invest in yourself as a dancer for the scene to grow. We need to, I mean, you'll find, and I don't mean to throw anyone under the bus, I'll just try and be blunt at the same time, be a bit diplomatic. You'll see someone spending a good amount while at the bar at a social, but then the same amount that they put into alcohol, they won't put into dance, and they'll say, I can't spend that amount. So I think both sides, it's good to be willing to invest in the scene for it to grow, invest in yourself for it to grow. But also at the same time, as an ALDAC member, I'm open to understanding all sides. So I also see the other side where, okay, maybe for real, like I cannot really afford this kind of workshops, then the bargaining tool in which ALDAC will create will come in handy, in which as a group, then we can come with a discount, like this is a discount for ALDAC members that everyone can take advantage for. And therefore, the event organizer doesn't have to go at a loss because it's quite expensive putting up these workshops. But at the same time, the kawaida mwananchi can benefit from the same workshops. And also you have to consider the quality of the workshop, and you have to consider that the event organizer has to make an income from their effort, because they're teaching things that they have worked on for years. And if you've worked on something for years, of course, you want to earn from that. And that is what ALDAC is also trying to promote, where people can grow and actually benefit from all the effort they put into their passions. Yeah, so I think it's about finding a balance where no one's at a loss. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? I saw Opola wanted to ask a question.
Sorry. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Opola.
Yeah, just a quick, simple one. What's the difference between Semba and Kizomba?
Okay. I am not. I am not Kizomba aficionado, if that's how you pronounce it. That would be a better question to the likes of Alan, who specialize in teaching that. It's quite honestly, yeah, my first love is salsa and then bachata. I can dance kizomba, but I'm not too into the technicalities of it. But as far as I know, Semba birthed kizomba. I may be wrong. Someone can correct me. Alan is making a face like, are you sure?
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's as far as I know. Yeah.
Thanks.
But again,
thanks.
if I'm tasked to, I mean, I wouldn't teach you, because again, you can't be the master of all trades. Yeah. So of course you do your research if you're going to be an instructor around that, but that's not something I aim to do. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, for Paula, if you want to know or rather get more information about the history of Semba and Kizomba, the Nairobi Dance Project is doing a Zoom workshop this Friday, and it's from an instructor from Angola, so you can get your answers there. Yes. 2A is asking, talking about target audience and strategic communication, have you done any Afro-Latin related communication or events outside Nairobi? How will you use your strengths to achieve regional balance within ALDAC if elected?
Well, outside Nairobi, I have attended, I haven't been instrumental in any communication strategy, mostly because at the time I was sort of a newbie in South Africa. So I did go as a performer, but it's something that I'd look to expand on. Whether it's doing like a caravan across the country and then eventually it meets in a central place for a sort of festival. So those are things that I'd honestly be interested in exploring if I became a member of ALDAC. So it will be a long-term strategy. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Dave Koech.
Yes.
Kindly tell us about yourself, mention your core competencies and how they will help ALDAC achieve its aims and objectives. Tell us about your professional and educational background. Go.
Thank you so much. Hi guys. My name is David Koech, and if I'm to start maybe from my background, I'm originally based in Nairobi, but my hometown is Eldoret, where I've done a lot of things in Eldoret. For me, I've grown as a dancer since childhood, so it's not something that I've come maybe to realize in campus or somewhere. I've grown dancing, and I came into realization that I can actually do it professionally in 2011. So where I started doing dance, generally not specific kind of dance like maybe salsa or something, but I was just doing dance, be it as long as there's movement of the body. So that's what I did. But now coming to realization that I can do it professionally, that's why I started dancing in 2011. So where I started learning, not actually dancing, but learning more deeply into dancing. And yeah, that's how I've grown. I've grown dancing, I've grown writing scripts and all the things. And if I'm to say, for me, dance it's a language. It's more than just the movement. And it has enabled me to grow strongly in my personal life. I'm able to interact with people of whichever caliber, and we're able to communicate as long as there's dance involved. And it has also enabled me to travel from places to places to get to know new people that I didn't even know about, to go to travel places, most parts of Kenya which has dance involved. I've tried as much as possible to step into them, and it has taught me as well. Professionally, I did BCom in UN, and yes, I finished, and I'm now using the skill now to venture into the dance industry, where I'm now teaching dance and learning dance as well. So I'm both a student of dance and a dance teacher. So it has also, I'm a performer. I started performing a while ago, but currently I'm with a group of the urban movement, which mainly currently we do performances. And this has also helped me a lot in building me for who I am. Yes.
Okay. So you said you believe in communism.
Yes.
So I think the first question will be Lugedi's question, which is from the ALDAC aims and objectives. Which one would you pick and run with?
So if I'm to pick any, I'll pick promotion of the local talents. One is based on the fact that this is me, and we're all Kenyans. And as much as we get to interact with other people outside, but I also need to realize that as much as I'm growing, or as much as we're growing, we also need to venture more into the scene and bring these other people who are coming. They're ours, they're our people, and bring and pull them together so that we can grow together. So I'll be investing more on the local talents. Whenever I see an artist, whenever I see someone, I try to venture and and be supportive to them in whichever way possible.
Okay. Any other questions from the floor?
Yeah, I think I can ask Dave one question. Dave, I think I've had the opportunity of attending a few of your sessions. I don't know if I'm right, but I get the impression that you actually dance is your only source of livelihood or dance-related activities. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for me, I think that this scene, the artists, I'm struggling to see somebody who is really making it full-time as an artist. So I want to ask you, are you sustaining yourself the way you want to? If you're sustaining yourself the way you'd want to, what can we do so that young guys who are coming up like you can actually earn and live off dancing, not only when they're young and they don't have expenses, but into their married life and all that. So we can actually see somebody start from youth to retirement just through this Afro-Latin dance or any of these dance. What specific interventions? Give me some real ideas.
Okay, I was struggling to hear you. Maybe Alan, can you, Alan?
Patrick, what Patrick is asking is, from his interaction with you, he has gathered that you are a full-time dance instructor. So he's trying to get more information on, is it something that you can earn a livelihood from? And what can you be able to tell other young people who are looking to take dance as a profession? Does it work? And also being as part of ALDA, what will you do to ensure that we get more people who can be able to do dance full time?
Oh, thank you so much. So what I can say that personally, I do dance full time, and I can say that I'm at a level where I can say that it pays for me. And if I'm to be asked, if someone asks me the same question on how they can sustain themselves, it is possible. But now the problem is, it's to you personally. What are you, before even you go in there, what are you going to do? What is your goal? Now, once someone has that goal, and maybe, okay, for me, I'm dancing because of this is what I do. It is sacred to me. And because the value that I give to it, that's why it's giving me the same value back. But now I can tell someone based on what has been, what I've experienced. But again, if I'm to tell someone else that yet I do not know the bigger picture in which this person is trying to go into the business, then if they fail, then they'll start blaming me. But all I can say is that dance is just like any other profession. Whatever you give back, whatever you give to it, it eventually gives back to you. So it's just the dedication and all the things that you give it into dancing, and for sure it pays back. That's what I can say.
Okay, Patrick, did he answer your question?
Yes, he gave an answer.
Okay, he gave an answer. Okay, anyone else for a question? Hello. Then who is it? Yes, Douglas. He answered your question. Another one.
Yes,
okay.
He did. I have another one. Dave, first of all, one of the reasons why DAC is coming into existence is to create unity in the dance in Kenya. And dance scenes in each and every country are as disunited as they can be, and Kenya is not an exception. So I want you to give us two strategies, just two, not 10, not 5, not 100, just two strategies that you'll use to approach to create that unity in the dance scene in Kenya. And also tell us, do you have any experience in creating partnerships with corporates, within groups? And how will you bring that experience on board to make the objectives of ALDAC work?
Thank you, Logedi. I'll start with the first question. It was about unity. Again, to me, dance is a language. Dance is not just the movement; it's a language, and the disunity comes in when we don't speak the same language. We don't have the same mindset. So one of the things that I'll do is to use that dance as a project where I use dance to teach someone on based on the ethics. You outline the ethics and all the steps that should be done with regards to dance, where you go from one place to a place, as in you just visit places, then you try to listen. You listen more than you speak, and then I give you my view on how dance is. So if we can speak the same language with regards to dance, then I don't think the disunity can be there. And another thing is, again, comes back to the leaders or the dance instructors or the key leaders in the various dance companies. Again, the disunity comes in because of maybe the heads of these places. So once we have a common union with the various leaders of the different organizations, then these leaders can go down and back to their people, and then they can spread the same language. So with this also, it can create maybe a common language where people can unite and dance with harmony. I hope I've answered that. About my experience with other non-organization, yes, I have, and I've been doing. Currently I've been doing dance. I call it dance and awareness, self-awareness. So I go to different companies where it is not totally related to dance, but you speak to them the language of dance in the manner that they. If you present your form or anything, they get to understand you. So I've personally worked with other organizations that are not completely related to dance. They get a chance to dance, and with that, we also invite more people into the dance scene. Thank you.
Anyone else with a last question, or we can move to Grace Maya? Any last questions? Okay, Grace Maya, let's proceed with you. Is she on the call?
Yes.
Yes, she is.
Hey everyone, my name is Grace Maya. I am a psychologist, but currently I work as a HR professional in a bank. I am based in Nairobi. I am a dancer, not a trainer, and I have been dancing since 2015. So it is quite a journey, and it's been very interesting so far. My love for dancing just also began in just my journey of introspection. I like really discovering myself and discovering other people, and also trying to understand their strengths and how we can make them better. So that's how I stumbled into dancing. My manifesto in terms of how I can take Alda to the next level or how I can contribute best to it is, I know I have some influence and leadership skills. So this will help me communicate ALDAC's vision, align the efforts of others, and build commitment for people in all levels to get things done and achieve now the overall mission of ALDAC. I am a team player. I love people, and I love understanding their strengths and how we can use these strengths to come together and to coordinate all our efforts in now, of course, achieving a common goal. I think I'm very agile, so that involves now understanding yourself and understanding the world around you. The Afro-Latin dancing is constantly changing, and what you see as COVID has happened, everything has had to change, and I like this move of coming up with an association where we can see how things work together and how we can govern this dancing. So that is a good move, and I also like to contribute to that move. So what I can do for ALDAC is my top aim, which I like which is in the Constitution, is I'd like to sort of come up with a code of ethics, which will now govern how the Afro-Latin dancing works. This comes from my passion for just order. So I'd like to bring order to every space I come into, and that's how I'll contribute best to ALDAC. What else? So that sense of order and having a sense of code of ethics will help to now improve the overall standards of living and overall standards of how the Afro-Latin dance works, and it will be able to also improve how all stakeholders will be affected. That is dancers, teachers, DJs, event managers, just having some sense of order where now everyone can be happy and everyone can feel heard and accepted. And yeah, that's me.
Okay, first question. Okay, so I think what have you seen? I'll go back to JT's question. What have you seen in the scene? What have been your high points and your low points in your walk through dance?
I think it's just that part of seeing how this dance works, and it's not something. It's not exactly what I expected, maybe at the beginning, but understanding how the dancing works and how having my principles come into play, that has been an interesting journey, because I think, as Stacey mentioned earlier, it can get really ugly at the dancing, but being able to speak up, maybe when you're with a partner who's a bit inappropriate, I've learned how to speak up when I feel that something is happening which is not right. So that is something that I've seen, and it has worked for me, just speaking up when you see that something is going on around you and you don't really, it's not in line with your principles.
Okay, any other question from the floor?
Yes, I can shoot one. Grace, actually, it's good you've said that you're a psychology and you work for a bank. And one of the things in our objective is something to do with collective bargaining and things that bring guys together for a common good, specifically, hopefully, so for some financial benefit. What I've noticed about the scene, I don't want to call it unhealthy competition, but I think there is a lot of unsustainable competition, working in a very small scene and bad politics. Putting these two together, what kind of things are you going to, what kind of ideas do you have to bring guys together? You're in psychology. How do you bring all these forces that are pulling apart? Maybe there's something about your knowledge that would bring to the association to make everything sustainable and make everyone make money or have some security, some basic financial security. Because I think you can be creative if you don't have some really basic financial security.
True. I like that question, Patrick. And in my own capacity, I love CSR, and that involves working with different stakeholders and seeing how you can tap into whatever funds you have to support whatever cause you have. And in the dance scene, if you want to approach a certain stakeholder to sponsor sort of an event or something like that, you have to do your research about the stakeholder. Do they support the arts? And if they do now, how do you navigate into that space? So for me, I love that part of researching different stakeholders and seeing, do they really resonate with the principles I have? Do they have the same vision that I have? So for me, that's how I'll go about it. When I have an event and I need sponsorship, I'll look around and see which organizations are already sponsoring such an event and what are their goals and whether they're in line with what I also want to achieve. I hope that answers the question.
Anyone else with a question? No questions for Grace? There's Douglas Logedi.
I hope that's a good thing. Yes, Douglas.
Probably Grace expected saw this coming. So Grace, one of the things that you really want to do is dance mentorship, especially for universities and colleges. And I would want to shoot that to you and ask you, first of all, what's your experience in terms of mentorship generally? And second of all, what would you do to foster that level of mentorship? And also in terms of promoting dance competitions, because we want to promote the quality of dance through dance competitions around the country. What role would you endeavor to play in that?
Okay, mentorship is very close to my heart. I am a mentor to several youth, and that is something I do actively. Every year I organize sort of a summit for youth with albinism specifically, because that's why I really want to focus on. So mentorship is very close to my heart, and I would love to introduce dance to them as I do my various youth summits that I do. And when I was in high school, I never thought I could dance. I had a very sort of bad experience with that. So trying to introduce that to young people at a young age where it's easier for them to learn this skill if they have a passion for it is something that I would love to do and introduce that in schools at a young age.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry.
There was a second part about competitions.
Pardon?
There was a second part about dance competitions and how you which role you want.
How I will do what to dance competitions?
So the question was, one of the objectives that you want to achieve is improve the quality of dance through organizing and facilitating dance competitions around the country. And the question is, what role you endeavor to take in that?
Well, I'll start with the mentorship part because going to dance competitions is another level. So I'll start with mentorship and see how it goes before you introduce the competitions. I think I'll just go that one step at a time. Introduce it, see how it works, then now come up later and see how a dance competition can be done when you already have now dancers who have been trained and mentored and already discovered that talent in them.
Hello?
Yes, Timbuko, last question.
Yes, where is she? Grace Maya.
Yes.
I have a question for you. You're talking about you're talking about ethics, and I've been dancing for so many years, and I think I don't know if you have looked at the part of people are usually focused on the guy. The guy is the one who is making the move. He has hidden intentions. But when I look at it, fine, yeah, that could be agreeable. But also, have you looked at in the terms of the lady? Maybe she's the one who is wearing over-revealing clothes, or maybe she's sending wrong signals. So I attended another seminar online. It was a heated debate about that. So if you find ladies have come and maybe she's dressed in a way to attract that guy, but you find that she's attracting the wrong person, so can you have the guts to go to that lady and talk to her about it, or something like that? Because this is what you'll face.
Okay. Well, that's a tough one, but I'll start with the lady. Is she comfortable with the way she's dressing? Because if you dress in a certain manner that will attract the wrong attention to you, you must have a goal before you go to a dance, maybe a Latin night, and you're dressed in a certain way. So, of course, having ethics is we might also introduce maybe a dress code later on, but of course that will have to come from the members to agree that there will have to be a dress code when you have Latin nights. You cannot dress inappropriately. But yes, I do get where you're coming from. I can only speak maybe from a man, having a man maybe behave inappropriately, because that is what I've experienced. But I know ladies, of course, have a part to play into that. So maybe later on we can have like a dress code when you're going for social nights or all that. Just part of those, the code of conduct or ethics.
Okay. Thank you, Grace Maya. The next candidates kindly get ready in this order. The first person will be Joseph Binayo. Second will be Kevin Tuwe. Number 3 will be Florida Kathure. Just wait 1 minute. And then Alan Mugo, I see is here. Okay, yeah, so I'll repeat. Joseph Binayo will go first. Number 2 will be Kevin Tuwe. Number 3 will be Florida Kathure. And number 4 will be Alan Mugo. And just to weigh in on, because I think it's very important before moving forward so that we do not have unrealistic expectations of ALDAC. Again, you people have heard of the hashtag my dress, my choice. We cannot define how people dress. That is not the job. That is not the objective of ALDAC. By saying that we are promoting a code of ethics, I want you to know on matters sexual assault, sexual violence on the dance floor, off the dance floor, that is a police case. Because, and this one I am speaking out of experience because these are issues that have been raised in the past. And it becomes a thing where what defines sexual assault or sexual abuse? Okay, so and the issue someone has raised here about a lady wearing revealing attire, that is neither here nor there, because again, it's my dress, my choice. We cannot define how people dress. And a matter like this, we cannot act because by law, this is after consultation with a lawyer. We cannot take the law into our own hands because it is us who are saying that we are terming this as sexual abuse, which is not in our power as an association. We can speak strongly against, but we cannot ban someone from a public place. You cannot ban someone from going to Metro, even if you are the organizer. Yes, management reserves the right of admission. And these are the things where, again, if we decide that someone is, and I'll give reference to the issue with the issue that Stacy spoke about. The other issue that came was we were asked as leaders to speak against this. But after consultation with the lawyer, it said that if we go on Facebook without evidence, and evidence again can be swayed. And what they say, law is morality. Law is not about morality. It's not what you term as right or wrong. Law is about evidence. So as a leader, if we were to go forward and speak about these people on Facebook, we were going to attract lawsuits in terms of basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Character defamation. You see, this becomes, that is why we say every issue that happens in the scene, we can be able to push it to the right institutions to be able to handle this. We can speak to human rights organizations. We can definitely engage the police so that it becomes a court case. It becomes a police matter so that it's not for the organization. It's not for ALDAC to say that this person is the aggressor and he is guilty of this. That is not within our jurisdiction. So I hope that can also be very clear. Yeah. And also something else that I am seeing, it is not the job of ALDAC to offer dance classes. It's not the job of ALDAC. Basically, for ALDAC to be able to succeed, you should not be in any competition with any other dance company. So as ALDAC, if you're going to offer dance classes, it means that you're in competition with all these other schools that are offering, because you're taking their clients and you're saying because you have a bigger base, but we can organize dance workshops in collaboration with schools. And I think that should be the objective of the association. Okay, so yes, Joseph Binayo, I was just buying time to ensure that you are ready to go forward. Joseph Binayo.
Yes. Hi.
Fantastic. Yes. So we just want to hear from you, Joseph, very quickly. Just tell us about yourself. Tell us the core competencies that you possess to help ALDAC achieve its aims and objectives. Tell us about your professional and educational background. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much, Alan. Okay. Hi, people. My name is Joseph Binayo. And just a minute. I'm Joseph Binayo. I'm from Eldoret, representing the region, and I've been dancing for quite a while. And I have a good experience, what I can say, within the local, my region, and I'm a team leader. I'm a team leader who representing different universities around and collaborating with them to merge under one umbrella, because main campus, University of the Eldoret, town campus, School of Medicine, and we have been providing some classes to them, event organizing locally, and yeah, through dance. Apart from dancing professionally, I've finished campus, I've done psychology, and through dance, I've been able to, some of my achievements with the dance, I've been able to link the dance with some county of salsa, with some county youth, sport, and culture offices, whereby they have been supporting us through the events, organizing, inviting us to perform, and I've been able to link the different dance branch into one so that we work as teamwork. So I support teamwork, and I've been able to even to initiate some dance into some events and to work with some NGOs that I've been working with to pass message to young people. And that is my main objective toward the ALDA, because talent, we need to use dance to pass information. And through the NGOs, they have potential space that we can convert the dance to pass information to young people, and we can use it in terms of resource mobilization. So that is all about me, and that is Joseph Binayo. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, my microphone was off. So what challenges especially do you face in region, and how do you think being in ALDAC you can be able to bring the synergy between the region and the Nairobi and the other regions?
Good. One challenge that's main that I can say, the first challenge that is working as teamwork. It's the main problem that people think that you have one agenda or you have your own agenda with the dance, which they need to understand it from the word go. That is the main challenge, that if I'll be the leader there, I'll be able to tell people that through dance, it's just passion, because through dance you can do a lot. But people think when you bring them together or you organize an event, it is your own agenda or your own benefit. It is for them, because it's not for me, it is for them. So bringing people together is the most big challenge that I've been facing on the ground. And then two is that most of people are in culture. Most of the cultures have not appreciated that or accepted that this dance can be part and parcel of us, can be part of the culture that we own, and we can use it as a therapy or to change or to pass message to other people or to entertain in full and maximum. So you find that it has some limitation, that if maybe it is an event performance or there's a gig that you have organized, you just have to have specific dance, if it is salsa for that event or kizomba for that dinner event. So you see it has some limitation again, because people don't understand it, what is kizomba in full, and we need to do some civil education to our regions and young people too.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Oh, I saw you closing your eyes and
And it's
oh, on a meditation. Hey. You're scaring me. You scared me. Okay, anyone else? Hey, niona mtu anachapa. Hey, kashanga hizi swali. But yeah, anyone else?
Uko sawa kabisa. Ni msingizi
Uko
bana.
sawa, uko chonjo.
Kulala.
Kitapo kwet. Aya, anyone else? A question for Binayo? Yes, Imbukwa.
Hello. Yes. Mr. Binayo.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I don't know you.
Yeah. Now you know
seem
me.
to be.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. You seem to be new to the dance industry. And yes. I would like to know, in the ALDAC, assuming you'll be elected to the ALDAC committee, how can you promote? Okay, you're saying that you'll create awareness, okay, in Eldoret, isn't it?
Exactly.
I just wanted you to expound on that. Like, how exactly will you create awareness? Because one challenge you may face is they may not be interested. Many people may not be interested in dance, okay? And exactly. I wanted to know, like, can you explain to me what, since I don't stay in Eldoret, I stay in Nairobi, though I'm hallelujah, but the thing is, what challenges can you face? Can you face? Because I met people like you. I met people like you who come and say, "Oh, I'm going to create awareness," and most of these people fail. I'm not saying you to fail, but how are you going to convince people to be coming for classes at least? And you know, Eldoret is a different place. Okay, that's it.
Okay. First, one thing that I'm sure that it is manageable, and if we work with ALDAC as a committee, executive committee, it will be able to work is, packaging of the content and information towards the people. Because at the end of the day, these people need to understand, first of all, if you go to maybe to convince this team or people that about the dance, package of information that you will have, it will matter a lot and it will add value, because at the end of the day, it is a product that we want to sell. We need people to join. They need to have the interest, because at the end of the day, people maybe will like to dance it, but they fear at the end of the day. But package of information will work very well. And then how we will share with the people, how we will engage the team. Because our target group matters a lot. You see? So that will work very well. And then at the end of the day, the session that we'll be offering, it depends with the trainer toward the students. I think that one will work better if we package well information, our target group people, and then the training sessions.
Okay. Thank you, Mbukwa. Mr. Miano Dennis, I would like to ask you to probably go after Binayo. I see you're stating on the chat group that you want to leave, but you're on the list today. So for purposes of being able to, I don't know if he's left already. Mr. Miano. Anyway, okay. Any other question for Mr. Binayo? Okay, so Mr. Binayo, I just want to, so the dancing in Eldoret, is it, if you to give me percentages, it doesn't have to be accurate. So yeah, exactly. What is the population of student dancers and out of school dancers? Maybe those who are working, call it working class and the students.
Okay, in terms of working class, we have maybe we can say 40%, because most of them we see they have finished school and they had job out of Eldoret. They come to Nairobi because a bigger number in Nairobi.
You're talking about the scene in Eldoret. The scene in Eldoret.
Okay, the scene in Eldoret, I can say maybe 30% of working class, because the bigger merge, maybe 50% or 70% for students.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Anyone else with a question for Binayo, or we can move to Mr. Kevin Tuwe? There's no question. Mr. Kevin Tuwe, please take the floor.
Thank you so much, and vote for Binayo, Joseph.
Yes. Mr. Kevin Tuwe. Is that a headset? I always see you with it.
Yes, it is a headset. I didn't want a green one, but I found this color I could just go for. But yes, I hope I'm audible. I hope I am visible.
Yes, you are.
And I can maybe start on the go. Okay, thank you. So I think I've already gotten the grip of things and how we're going to go. So I'll start by myself and who I am. Maybe some of you have never met me. So it is very important. My name is Kevin Tui. My stage name, my performance name is called Shakes. Also, it is my pseudonym in two parts. Shakes because I got the name because I was called Shakespeare. I used to write love poems for guys to get to the ladies.
For guys.
And also, yeah, so for guys in the campus, I used to write for them so that they can get the ladies who they are going to. Yes, you can see, not like I was courting. Yes, not that I was courting them. Yes. Then yes. Then shakes obviously also got from the dancing, also for shaking and subs. Then also okay, these emojis. Anyway, then also on the professional side, let me get a bit more professional. I'm a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, first class honors degree holder. Then I've also completed my master's. I'm just completing my defense on that. I'm also a lecturer. I've been a part of lecturer for the last 5 or so years. And also I'm an IT software developer, digital marketer, content creator, and such. So basically that is what I do professionally. I also own a company called Hacknix Limited, where we do cybersecurity, training, and such. So that is the professional side of things. On the dance side of things, I've been dancing since 2009. When I started, the weird thing is I started dancing salsa in church. We had a certain gig there where people used to come, and we had a very supportive clergy, and we started dancing in church. Then I joined campus. I found that when I joined campus, I was the only person who knows salsa in campus. I had to dance by myself, performing by myself, doing basics by myself. Then I found one lady who was interested. We started out dancing together a bit. We founded Bailarines de Salsa in Chuka. We ran it for the 4 years where we grew the scene and also grew the Chuka scene. People got to understand. My biggest highlight in my 4 years when dancing within the student fraternity is dancing for Uhuru and Ruto when they came for the Chuka 100 years centenary celebrations. We danced before the presidential unit. I think Ted was the one coordinating the presidential entertainment unit then. And that is the biggest highlight on that. And also within the salsa community within Chuka, we're able to do a lot of achievements. We're able to organize 2 great annual events where we are able to invite people from all over the country. Usually brand it as the all-white salsa event. All-white salsa event. And we've had, I think, a number of people. I think even had Dave Koech coming through. Dave Koech came through. We had a lot of people coming through from, we had Kale, we've had Tim coming through. We've had a number of people. I think also we've also organized workshops. Perpetual has been there. We've had Ronnie coming through and JP. A number of people coming through for the workshops. That is the Rueda, the Bachata, the Kizomba, and the Afro workshops, Afros. So that is what I've been able to do. After dancing, after the student dance, I changed act because I couldn't dance anymore because of conflict of interest, being a lecturer and then being finding your students on the scene. So you wonder how will you do a kizomba, then you meet in class. So I had to change tact. I became a choreographer. I just did choreography helped in choreography for graduation performances and also JQuat Salsa Festival performances. Any performances going out there, I was helping in choreography and also doing my own. Also in terms of my dance, I also changed. I decided to do contemporary dance and combining it with elements of Latin, that is the salsa and the bachata, and I think a bit of kizomba. So it is about telling a story. I changed my tact and I did what we call the fusions. That is basically me. So I'll just go directly now to my manifesto. Just a 4-point. Mine is very basic. I think I follow what Alan already told us. You need one page things, very simple things, straightforward things. So mine is a 4-point thing. It is about MSRT. That is member welfare. It's about sensitization and mobilization, regional and national annual events. And the one is transparency, openness, and simplicity. Those are the 4 main, those are my whole agenda around the EC, that is the executive committee, borders around the 4 things. And when I was creating this manifesto, my main focus was at the aims and the objectives of the ALDAC association, because there is no way you can create a manifesto that does not go in line with the objectives. And I think going forward, I'll also just go directly and answer some of the questions that it is a default, like the one for Douglas, that is which objective would I run away with. I would go with capacity building, because the reason why is members, considering I'm a lecturer by profession, and also I do a lot of trainings, both professionally and also the dancing. Capacity building comes into play where you cannot have members who are supposed to take part in a lot of, let's say, national events, let's say event organizing. It is unfair to say I want to do event organizing and then I call some people outside ALDAC to organize an event. I need to support, let's say, you can say buy ALDAC, build ALDAC, right? So I think should have such kind of a scenario where if I know Dave and I know Alan can be able to DJ at my event, I'll be able to come in and I know he's a member of ALDAC, bring him in and I say, can you negotiate what you want us to pay you? And also that also bring also the bargaining power for the members. That is, they'll be able to get premium packs, they'll be able to get maybe even free accommodation when they come for our salsa night events, such and such. We have some kind of a standard of what an ALDAC member can expect in a certain event when they decide to subscribe for it. So I've already launched the manifesto on the WhatsApp paid app members group. So you are free to look at it in more detail. And for the interest of time, I'll not go into the details of it. And my last comment is just say, vote for Shakes, because that is all it takes.
Hey, hey.
Yes.
Okay, any question for Shakes? I see there are some people who are leaving the group. I know most of us are back to work, so that could be the reason. But again, we are recording this this Zoom, and we'll be able to share the same with you. I'd also like to recognize one of the candidates who's here, but he's in Australia. I think right now it's like 4 a.m. So before any of you decides to or is thinking of leaving, there's someone who's here with us, and where he is, it's 4 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, that's how about that for commitment. So yes, if there's no question for Mr. Tuwe, I will move to...
I have a question.
Okay, Patrick.
Yes, Tuwe. One of the things I strongly believe is that this scene, Latin dance and Afro-Latin, needs to be common and acceptable by everyone. And when I listened to your story, you indicated, and I'm very worried, you're still much younger than me. you're already getting embarrassed dancing with other people in your place. And I think that implies that now this salsa thing is like kind of a specialist movement. And the moment it becomes a specialist movement, we really won't grow it. It won't become pervasive. To the point where even me, who's much older than you, will come even with my wife and my peers, dance with those much younger people, and nobody will think it's a big deal. I really want you to convince me that if you come to the executive committee, you'll create that environment where it is pervasive and not a specialist thing. Because I strongly believe if we don't bring in ordinary Kenyans, we may not get the money into the industry that we need to make it sustainable.
Okay. Okay, to be also, to maybe, let's say, to make the point clear about it and also to come clear on the record on that, basically is on one scenario is basically when you're about to gain some kind of a respect for certain students who maybe you are teaching them in class, and also that kind of a conflict of interest that usually occurs. Not that I never dance in my, not that I never dance in the salsa rehearsals, not that I never, actually my heart is always for unity and inclusivity. And that is basically what I really stand for. And once I get into the committee, the real exclusivity is between the working class and the student membership. That is where it is. And I being like, let's say, a beacon of hope for most of the students in the scene and such, because they usually look at me and say, how did you get a first class and you're dancing salsa? People usually think even you can dance salsa and be good in your education, right? You can't do dance and also you can be good in something else. So considering that at the ALDAC level, the scene is the kind of disparity and the disunity is how we can bring together the student dance scene, the student dance community, and the working class community, especially which is obviously I can say it is kind of saturated within the Nairobi scene, and we need to now bring some fresh blood. And I think ALDAC, I think what stands for is bringing the freshness into the dance, the freshness into the Afro-Latin scene. So what I really stand for is getting us coming together. Considering I'm already working, I don't feel embarrassed. And I'm also, like I can say, I'm on two parts. I'm both still having a heart of students, and I'm also part of the working class. So so that is basically what I really want us to do. And how I'll be able to do it is to now see, I think you'll be able to see the details of my manifesto. And it is about coming about with a community support plan. I think I talked about 3 plans. That is a community support, a social support, and a member welfare plan. So those will bring us together at an individual level, See, because we don't want to talk about us, because they never us. Always when somebody comes into this, you mean as one person. So we really want to give members at an individual level value for their commitment to ALDAC. So I think I'll get into the details of that. We can side chat and you can get more from that from me. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question for him? If not, we can move to Miano. Okay, Mr. Miano, please. Mr. Miano.
Yes, I hope mnanisikia?
Yes, can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Kindly tell us about yourself, tell us about your core competencies and how they will help ALDAC achieve its aims and objectives, and kindly take us through your professional and educational background.
Okay. So my name is Dennis Miano. I am a student at Masinde Muliro University. Dance-wise, okay, currently I'm doing mathematics, economics with IT, that's education-wise. And I've been dancing for the past maybe 3 years. So I've been the chairman of Kakamega La Casa Salsa team, which is based in Most, that is Masinde Muliro University. I'm currently their chairman. I've been their chairman for the past 1 year. And yeah, I'm a professional dancer, kizomba, semba, salsa, and bachata. Yeah, that's it about me. Rhoda, yep. As a nominee in ALDAC, one, I'd like to bring up the national wide face. Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so as a nominee in ALDAC, first of all, my leadership skills have been amazing. I'm an open-minded person, and I focus on accountability and bringing the people together as friends even before you start dancing and recruiting new members. As Elvis had told you, we have brought the Kakamega script and the Western region to the map of salsa, because we've been focusing on the basics and the dance itself as we continue recruiting other members into the group. So we focus mainly on growing as a group other than individual skills. So in as much as we train new members daily, we focus on how the group is growing and the connections to other groups all around. That's why Western region has come to them. We've come to so many events in Nairobi. Even I remember the Kizomba flash mob since then. And yeah, that's it about me. You can bring the questions.
Okay, I hear some of the candidates, yourself included, saying that you are professional dancers. What do you mean that you are a professional dancer?
What I mean is there are so many people who don't take salsa seriously. For them, they come to dance as a hobby or something. So you find that some people who come and train for like a week, and then maybe somebody just wants to know about Kizomba or maybe Semba because he or she has a fantasy about knowing about the dance. That is just a normal dancer, is not a professional dancer. But a professional dancer to me is the person who has taken salsa seriously and wants to advance himself in the dance, not just as a hobby or anything, but as a trainer and everything. I hope I've answered that.
Not exactly, but we should be very careful about how we throw around professional, because right now you said you're studying maths and all that. Would you say that you are a professional because you are committed to it, or is it after you have been awarded a degree certificate?
After the certificate, I guess.
Exactly. Anyone else with another question?
Just a little bit that.
Mm-hmm.
What I meant is, as Elvis said, you can take dance as a profession, mastering it and use it as something to earn you income. To me, that's a profession. That's taking it professionally, unless when you take it just as another activity to pass your time.
So if you're charging for a service, that makes you a profession in that service.
Exactly. To me, I guess that's it.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else with a question for Dennis? Someone is asking for the group if we are done. Unfortunately not. After Dennis, we have the people who I can see. We have Florida Kathure, we have Alan Mugo. The other members have not been on the group. So I think we have 2 to go. And we can call it a night. So if there's no question for Mr. Miano, I would request Florida Kathure to take the floor. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Florida
Okay.
Kathure.
Yes, thank you,
Yes.
Alan.
We would like to see your video, please. It was a request at the beginning of the meeting that we would like to see who is addressing us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Florida Kathure, Kibabi University, a third-year student pursuing a bachelor's degree
We have lost
in
Kathure.
commerce, finance option. And about salsa, I've been salsa for 2 years now. And I lead a I'm so passionate.
Florida, we keep losing you. Your connection seems to be unstable. Okay, if you cannot use video, maybe if you can move, if just the voice will help, just you can do that. You can switch off your video. I don't know if that will help, because we keep losing you. And
So,
kindly speak up.
can you hear me, Alan?
Kindly speak up.
Okay, hello.
Yes, much better.
Oh, so I'm Florida Kathure, a third-year student pursuing a bachelor's degree in commerce finance options. I've been in salsa for 2 years now, and as I've said, a leader too. I'm so passionate, and I like working with people. I also love interacting with a lot of dancers from many scenes. And what else?
You tell us.
I think what I can say, Bungoma is a local area. I'm so sorry to say that. And a lot of people don't recognize us. So, if you choose me, I know there are many dancers who are in local areas.
Why do you keep laughing?
Florida.
No, it's so funny. I'm surprised everyone is working here. I'm a student, so. But I will work and make work. Hey, Alan.
We are forever students. We are forever students.
Alan,
thank you.
So just keep going.
Please continue.
Alan, will you coordinate the questions? She said thank you.
Okay, Florida. It is.
Yes.
There's no problem with being a student.
Yeah.
So just because again you're a representation of a big number of the percentage in the salsa scene. So that should not that is not a concern. So I think let me open the floor to anyone who has a question for Florida. We are all, again, I think the encouraging messages on the chat, people are saying we are all students. It's just the level of life or the position at life where you are, but we are all students of life. Yeah, so do not be disheartened. Anyone with a question for Florida?
Yes, I think I can shoot one.
Yes,
Florida. Yes,
Okay,
yes. Just adding on to what Alan has said. Yes, adding on to what Alan has said. Yes, adding on to what Alan has said, the student community is definitely a big constituency of the active Latin dancers. I think about 50%. And what I want to hear from you is when you come into the executive committee, what do you expect ALDAC? How is it going to help this particular student community? What benefits do you think the association can bring to that, and what are you going to specifically push for as an action that is in line with our objectives for the association?
Okay, thank you, Patrick. So I think Alan, stop laughing. As I've just said, I will make dancers who are in local places just like us to be recognized, and I think when we get recognized, we'll be able to meet with new people and learn from them. Also, they will impact on us because okay, sisi hatujulikani sana na si rahisi tuitwe events mingi, so it's hard for us to learn from people who are in places like Nairobi, Mombasa, kitu kama hiyo.
Okay. First of all, I have two comments. Number one, my friends from Bungoma will feel very bad about you calling it remote. And number two, if nothing else works, try comedy. You've made me laugh so much tonight. Now, on to my question. No? You talk about the student demography, and we are looking at it from the point of building the mentorship in campus, colleges and universities. It's one of the main objectives of ALDAC. I'd want to know what role would you endeavor to take in that, not just in the small region where you are in Western, but then across the country. How would you further the dance community mentorship, especially trickling down the knowledge to the student? And keep making us laugh.
Oh, Douglas, I've just heard about.
Yes, I'm called Douglas.
Can you pardon, please?
Okay. Is it me or did Florida get lost?
She's still here.
Douglas, pardon your question, please.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Douglas has left. Douglas.
My internet failed at the very wrong time. So yes, you can as well say I fell off laughing. Now, my question is, one of the main objectives of ALDAC in terms of bringing value or creating value for dancers at the college and university level, because it's all about creating value, is trying to bring down mentorship from the people who are really experienced in the scene and trickling it down to colleges and universities, not just universities, but also colleges. My question to you is, what role do you endeavor to play in terms of creating that mentorship in the dance scene, not just in the small region where you are in Western, but the country large?
Okay, thank you. So, as I've said, I love working with people and also I like traveling. So, I will make sure that we organize events in many places so that we get to know a lot of people and maybe get something, learn something from them. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Florida. You have really entertained us today.
Thank you.
Anyone else with a question for Florida? Or we can move to Mr. Alan. Okay. So thank you, Florida. Alan, the floor is yours.
Okay, I hope you people can hear me.
Yes, we can be able to hear you, sir.
Okay, my name is Alan Mugo from Mombasa. I'm the chairman of a team in Mombasa called Empire Salsa. It's a team in Mombasa which started in Technical University of Mombasa. So I'm still I'm student. I'm in fourth year doing my bachelor's degree in civil engineering. Yeah, that's about me. The reason why I wanted to be in the committee, the ALDAC committee, the main reason, first of all, is because I wanted to bring the coastal region to maybe, I wanted the coastal region to feel as if it's not left out of the dancing in Kenya. So because recently, okay, in the past years, the coast region has not been very active in the dance. So I wanted to be in the committee because I want to be in the committee because I want to bring the coastal region to the dancing and make it an active region in the country. We have done that, and we have tried our best. The first thing, even before ALDAC came, I started with uniting the coastal region. So this year 2020, we started unity. We started uniting the coastal region. So we had a team from Malindi, Kilifi. We have another one from Kwale, and the teams in Mombasa. So I brought all the leaders in those areas together, and we tried to maybe unite. We organize our socials. We attend socials for other places, so that maybe we can improve ourselves before we try maybe joining the rest of the team in the country. Then this year we tried maybe we made sure the coastal region has attended maybe all the events we were invited to this year. We attended all of them, except maybe the ones that were colliding with other events. So maybe my main reason is I want to bring unity in the dance. Yeah, that's about me. I think I'm done.
Okay. Anyone with a question for Mr. Alan?
Pardon?
Anyone with a question for Mr. Alan?
Yeah, I have a question. Alan, so if you're elected to be a member of the executive committee, what would be your first two agenda items that you'll be pushing, and why?
My first agenda is to maybe strengthen the students in the dance industry. First of all, I would want a situation where we have something like an event, or maybe we have socials. We can try to have maybe praises for students and praises for maybe the rest of like the working class, because that one will strengthen the students who are not earning a lot, and that's the reason why they are left out most of the time. Yeah, that's one about students. Then the other thing is I want the ALDAC association to even the rest of the groups who are not in maybe in the dance to earn from it. You know, it is not everyone who joined maybe salsa, kizomba, or bachata to earn from it. Some people joined to have fun. Some people wanted maybe to be living with others. Some people wanted to maybe have a place to be spending their leisure time. It's their hobby. So I want them, even all of them, to feel included in the association.
Anyone else?
Alan, hi.
Yes, okay.
Hi.
So how long have you been in the dance industry?
For 4 years.
I tend to believe there was an event by the name Mature Dance Festival. It was brought to Mombasa, right?
Yeah.
As an aspiring leader into the ALDAC committee, maybe you learned a lot according to this event, the way you're thinking about bringing people together in events and such like. What would you feel like it was a learning, maybe a learning experience, and this is what you got from there, and you think that's how this is something you can bring to ALDAC and see how you can bring people together? Or rather, what unique thing do you think you got from there and you can pass it towards here in ALDAC?
Alan, were you at the Mature Dance Festival?
I wasn't, but I can talk about the event.
Okay.
Yes,
so
I know he wasn't. I know he wasn't there.
Okay.
Only that it was in Mombasa, so I want him to give me a recap of what he thinks about it.
And the person who organized it is also here.
Yeah. I noticed.
Okay. I learned about that that event after it happened. I saw some videos. I saw it was in Mombasa. Then I saw the videos after the event happened. So one thing about maybe one of the is it aims of the ALDAC, whatever, it's to have maybe a uniform calendar of events. So when you have an event, maybe it's happening in Mombasa, maybe everyone can be informed about the event so that even the people who live in that area where the event is going to take place, they can know about the event. So like the event happened, the teams in Mombasa, most of us, we did not know about the event. The organizers of the event did not maybe seek information about the dancers in the coast region. I guess only a few of the coastal region dancers attended the event. So I guess we should maybe have a uniform calendar of events where we can maybe plan for events. In this month we have an event in Kisumu, we have an event in Mombasa, we have an event in Nairobi.
Okay. Hello, guys. Okay, I want to say something. Sorry, it's actually 4:30 a.m. here. I'm in Australia, but anyways, I wanted to say, I think the most of just something on top of what you were saying, Mr. Alan Mugo, is that a lot of the problem with people in several cities of Nairobi is that people don't get the interest of exactly following up on these events that people do. I'm not lying to you. I was in Coast probably 4 times in the whole year, the time I was organizing Machuel. I did some events with some of your friends, and I've been to Diani, and I also did a lot even in North Coast as well. But I think it's not about any you didn't hear or anything. I think it's just about, I think if you learn how to dance something, for me, we always go and look for the events. So you always want to know what's going on in your country. So that's very important. But if you don't go out and look for those opportunities to do that, it's very hard for you to literally know about the events. You get what I mean? Even if sometimes maybe we miss marketing in your area or anything, but you looking for those events actually makes you have an idea what's happening around you, especially if you're a dance teacher of salsa. The same thing happens in other countries, or even I think some people can have an example that if you want to learn something or you want to get something, you go and get it, so if you want to grow, you go to an event which has that particular kind of things that help you to grow. Otherwise, if you just don't go to, if you don't go to places where you can get a chance to, you know, grow your knowledge or anything, it, you know, at the end of the day, you don't, you know, you don't get anything out of it. You know, you don't even grow yourself. You get what I mean? That's why some of us don't know each other. We've never met. We've always heard from each other from afar, but not closer to each other. Anyways, that was just an additional. Yeah, sorry, cut it short, Alan. I'm out. Mutati here. Okay.
Thank you, Mutati. So, Alan, if it comes to your city, just be sure you get in touch with him. You have to get it. If you can get it, I can get it. Yeah.
Alan,
So,
watch
yeah.
a kurap. Watch a kurap.
Yeah, that's Murari from Australia. Yeah, that's Murari from Australia. You guys have to get it.
Yeah,
So, yes, any other question for Alan?
Yeah, I have one question for you, Alan. I realize that you're from the student community. And one of the things I've realized in my short stint in this dance scene is that they're two totally different worlds. You'll rarely go to a social that I can call integrated, where 50% of the people are the mature and 50% are students. You tend to find that they are student socials or student socials, and they are grown-up socials. And one of the challenges students keep saying is that they can't afford to go to what they call expensive. And I think that is a real concern. I want to hear from you, when you get into the association, now that you're one of those guys, what specific ideas are you going to push for so that the association allows the student community to not only participate in the university events, but also to be able to come in and participate in all socials all over the country? What kind of ideas are you going to bring the association to make that happen?
Thank you for the question. I think one of the challenges that most students face is about the financial constraints. And one of the ideas I had is maybe if, for example, let me refer to the team in Coast Region. Most of the events that we are invited to this year, most of them were out of the coast region. For example, in Chuka, Embu, in Masinda Moriro. And you find that most of the students, they are willing to the event, but they can't afford to facilitate their transport. So as when we have a registered group, the ALDAC, maybe ALDAC can be writing letters to the specific universities so that they can facilitate the students for things like transport to events. Maybe I can refer to some cases. Maybe like this year we had been invited to Embu, we had been invited to Chuka, we had been invited to JKUAT, which did not happen. But for the two events, Chuka and Embu, we were able to go because I talked to my university and they sponsored our school bus. So we were able to travel to Chuka and another event that happened in Embu. I guess I saw you in Chuka, Patrick. So that was my idea.
Yes, Douglas.
Now, I have both a question to Alan and a comment. I'll go with the question first. Alan, you are aware that ALDAC is a national association that brings together everyone from around the country. Most of what you've told us today is about the coast region, what you'll do for the coast region, how you'll improve the coast region. There's a voter here who comes from the Rift Valley region. How does he or she plug into what you are saying? How does he or she relate to what you are saying? And how does he or she benefit from you being in office? And then the comment is just to reiterate what Sheila has said in the comments. I think when you get a question, listen to it, understand it, then listen to what you are going to say before you say it, so that again, at least you can get it in context. That's very good, Sheila. I like that comment.
I'm using the coastal region as a reference to maybe answering some of the questions, but I'm not saying that I'll only work for the coastal region alone. I used the coastal region as an example, how maybe we have tried to unite the coastal region. So that's how we'll try to, I'll make sure that maybe we are uniting all the teams in the country, or when we have ALDAC. I hope I've answered that question.
Okay, anyone else with a question for Alan?
I think I have a comment. So I think he has mentioned about different student communities going to different regions of the country, and there's that question that Patrick asked. I think it is important to also give a comment on it about getting to solve the disparity between the working and the student community socials. Within ALDA, especially with reference to financial constraints, I believe there are two models within a business context. You can be able to, let's say, price something more expensive and target some few members, some few a niche, or you can be able to sell something cheaply and be able to sell it to a large number of people. So with the latter model, it will work best for students. If we have as many students within ALDAC as possible, you can still be able to get all the membership and the subscription fees, and be able to pay lesser fees, lesser entrance fees and event fees within ALDAC, because they'll get the same bargaining power as the ones who are also working. So that is basically what it is, the leveraging on the population, leveraging on the numbers of the students to be able to get their bargaining power in terms of the cost of fees and cost of joining the events. And even as Mutati has said, it's just a matter of getting interested. Because once you get interested, I'm sure you cannot go and say you are at the gate just because you have 500 and you don't have 2,000. But somebody can, or someone can be able to see that need that you have, and that hunger for that event and that knowledge that you want to gain in the industry and in the scene.
Okay. I think Alan was the last person, but I don't know. I might be wrong, but I've not really had anyone speaking of. No, there's burial is tomorrow. Oh. Yeah. I have not had I have not had anyone speaking about point number A in the aims and objectives, which is to raise the standards of Afro-Latin dance in Kenya. I do not hear anyone speaking how we get our level from point 1 or from point A to B, because I think that is the essence of what as an association we should be aiming at, because that is our core business. All these other things are supplementary to the core business. So I don't know if there's anyone who wants to respond to that in terms of the level of dance, because we say the scene has been in existence for, let's even say, 15 years. And in those 15 years, it is what, if we are to benchmark, you see all these other things we can say, yes, maybe we couldn't have progressed in terms of dance competitions because we didn't have an association. We could not talk to government or corporates because of the collective bargaining power, which we didn't have. But in terms of the level of dance, what what are we going to do about it? Why are we not, why is the best salsa dancer not from Kenya? Why is the best Kizomba Semba dancer not from Kenya? Why is the best bachata dancer not from Kenya? What are we saying? If we are to benchmark ourselves in Africa, where are we? If we are to benchmark ourselves internationally, where are we in terms of dance? Because that's in my opinion, again, that's our core business. So we are really not, I don't know if there's anyone who would like to speak on that.
I can say something first before anyone else, maybe. I think point number A is an overarching objective, right? And most of those other objectives from B, I think, to H are really supporting that A. Yes. So even when you're talking about raising the standards of the quality of and the standard of dance, Afro-Latin dance in the country, when I say I'm taking capacity building and running away with it, in essence, I'm doing one part of the whole part of raising the quality of standards in the dance standards in the country, per se, in one part of it. Obviously, it would be a lie to say that I'll do B, C, D, F, G, H, all of them. You have to, that's the way Douglas has put it, you have to take one and focus on it. And that is why when you're taking a team of 12, you don't want a team of 12 that is all taking capacity and a team of 12 that is all taking bargaining power. So when you have all these members who have different niches or specializations on what they want to achieve, I believe will in one way or another really move ahead in terms of improving the scene. And I really appreciate what you're doing, Alan, especially with these Zoom meets and these interactions that we're having from different people within Africa. You're doing a lot of work, and that is basically what we really need: interactions, forums, discussions, and such. So so basically that is what we really need to do. And my only hope is that the EC, once it comes in, it has a team, a synergy, like a teamwork, the way you can say there's a chemistry, such that the weakness that Alan has is something that someone can be able to say is a strength on the other side. So when they work together, they're stronger together. So once we will do that, we'll be able to achieve. And since we are in the first year, we should really focus on empowerment and building the member base. And once we have that, I think we'll be able to now, people will be able to start to see the quality coming up, the quality. You'll be able to see even members who are in ALDAC. They have a certain quality in terms of how they dance, how they conduct themselves. I think even the last one was about discipline. The last objective was about discipline and some kind of code of conduct. So with that, with the A and the H and the last one, the past and the last, all the thing that is in between form a very good sandwich. So basically, that is what I can say on that.
Anyone else? Mutati?
Mimi nasikia tu. Anyways, what I think
maybe just answer that question in respect to you living in Australia and you having been in the scene here. What's the difference in the levels? What's different out there that's not being done here in Kenya?
So again, I think understand what Alan is saying, but again, boils down to the interest of growing. Many times you've had all the events that Alan has been doing. I think we did much well, but every time you ask some of the people, "Oh, do you want to go to the workshop?" Like, "Kijana, mimi niko mbele." I know more than anyone, you know. The thing is, I think, like for me, what has really helped me to grow, basically, is first of all, the time I was even in Kenya, I could not, you know, like you always wanted to travel and, you know, change your sceneries in terms of growing even other than just being abroad completely, like outside Africa, was, you know, the region which is in, you know, in Africa itself. we still had to train as much as we could. And I think even Alan can tell you, or some people have been there for a while, is that we've always tried to. We used to go to Destiny Dance every single week. I don't know if some of you know Benjamin Wanjohi. No, Alan, you don't know Benjamin Wanjohi.
Saying most of these guys probably don't know him.
Oh, or Benji.
I know Benji.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Benji.
Yeah. So Benji actually was the one who was always pushing us in terms of practicing and everything. But we always saw the way forward in terms of wanting to grow further from just whatever we were training in Kenya. So we'd look at videos, and if we had any opportunity in Kenya, the first time they did a festival in Kenya, which was Benji who did it, we were actually we went to the workshops, we trained with the people. And then after that, when you got opportunities to be in the festivals abroad, then, that also changed us even further. But again, it doesn't stop, because learning is always a continuous process. In terms of levels, in Kenya, I think it's just that people get to a point where you're stagnant, and you don't, people don't want to grow as far as whatever they think they've gotten to. Here, I really work on my skill every single day. For people to believe in what I do and as well advertise it, I really don't work for anyone where I am now. I do mostly my projects, but I work in studios here and there. But I still work on my skill every single day, because the thing is, when I post videos out there, people see my work. After that, when they see my work, then they want to believe in my work. For them to come and even say, because there's someone who said about payments. If someone is paying for something, it's a profession. But again, you also don't want people to come and pay. It's like stealing from someone, because you're not teaching the right things, because you're not investing time to even help yourself to grow, to know the difference, the different things in the particular dance you're teaching, or music, or whatever it is, to help at least your students to be better. And I think, and that's where you see, in terms of, I think, which is very, very important for your growth, to be specific, even further and further, is the products, which is your students. If there is no good, in terms of your students are not growing, and they don't have the knowledge of even the things you're teaching, then you need to check yourself. You need to really grow further completely, to help yourself to help your students to know more things about the dance you're teaching them. And people don't joke here. If someone doesn't believe in your work, really, they don't come to learn from you. And immediately there's a doubt of what you do or your work. Again, you lose the credibility as well. So it really helps you to, if you're on toes and you want to always just keep growing, further, and also help your students, it really, really helps for people to believe in your work, not only in Kenya, but also in Africa or abroad or anything else. Yeah, sorry, Alan. I think I'll talk too much. I hope I answered.
Yes, JT, you have a question or a comment?
Yes, no, I've seen some people posting on being an instructor.
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone's Facebook page stating that there are so many instructors than there are dancers in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Tumuta, what do you think defines an instructor? Because
that's a very hard question. But what defines an instructor? For me, I think it's literally things you teach your students, like the knowledge you also have for whatever you're instructing. And I think also boils down to your students, the product you produce. I think instructors need to be fond of that completely. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying.
You're trying. I don't know how I
Yeah,
can
because
put it.
I see it as a very big concern. Let me just state the person. I saw Ronnie CK posting that on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of comments and bashing of people. Some saying it's their livelihood, some saying they like. I just what I said is in Kenya, I don't think anyone owns a patent, and I also said it's very hard to tell someone like, you know me as Justin, I'm an instructor, but I don't think you as person X has qualified to be. You know, that was a very difficult question. That is why I asked it here.
No, but you see, the thing is, again, in this conversation, or what even Alan is trying to, build up in terms of the ALDAC is basically to have those, a place where, you can bring in, what are they called? Instructions from instructors to teach people or get people certified or give them knowledge. You get what I mean? But it's not about attacking anyone or saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. For me, my problem is, and I think a lot of times problems that people have with such people who say I'm an instructor or anything, is that you don't see the investment of them in whatever they're talking about as an instructor. So when you don't see that, it really even doubts you. Like if you ask someone, where is bachata from? They need to tell you that. They need to tell you where bachata is from. You get what I mean? Because if they're teaching that, they need to tell you that. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
just the basic knowledge. The same thing with the same thing, because you can never teach something that you don't understand. Yeah, the only way like, especially to students, because then then they're confused. You get what I mean? But if you teach people things that you understand and you give them that knowledge, it doesn't have to be like so much, but at least what you know, I think that goes a very long way, more than where you don't even know anything, anything about what you teach or share to other people. You get what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. But it's not about attacking anyone or anything. No, and I think that's why this platform is there, to give people that opportunity to get all this knowledge and grow themselves, and not just thinking whatever you know and that's enough. There's more to it. Yeah.
JT, I hope Mutati has answered your question.
Yeah, answered very well.
Okay. So guys, thank you very much. Those are the members who were present and they've been able to give us their manifestos. Tomorrow is another day. We have another list for tomorrow as well. I think with the committee, we'll need to meet after this just to deliberate on the people who are not able to speak today. We cannot have them trickle into tomorrow, because that also just destabilizes everything. But we will find a solution, and we'll be able to communicate that, because there are a few people who've not spoken and they are not in the meeting. So we'll also reach out to them. And yeah, thank you guys. And hope to see everyone there tomorrow. Thank you for the amazing manifestos. And yeah, good night. You guys can leave at will. If not, the chief whip will show you the door.